believe it or not, my wife and I have had some issues in relation to going to this rally. And it poses some questions here because I don't believe that there should be any issue in attending a peaceful rally where people are just simply celebrating what it is to be culturally English. So, what makes a nation? Is it a line drawn on a map? Is it the government? Or is it something deeper inside the people themselves? Because we have been accused of being racist for raising up the Union Jack, which is a flag that depicts this country, which represents this nation's state. And yet, I'm being accused, my wife has been accused of being actually racist. Now, I don't really care about being called racist. I know it's not true, and it doesn't really bother me. But on the other hand, it is at least problematic, because why should one group say to another group, it is racist for them to raise the flag which represents the country that they come from? We wouldn't do that in any other circumstance. We wouldn't do it to the French, to the Italians, to the Portuguese, to the Americans, to the Australians, to the Japanese. Any of those countries that raise the flag to represent their culture and identity, we fully accept because we recognize their nation states. Because anybody with any common sense would recognize it's not racist for the English to raise the Union Jack or the St. George's Cross. It's simply them saying that we come from this country and we celebrate it. So there's something else at play. So let's talk about it, shall we? So, for centuries, humanity has organized itself into nations, but how we define who belongs to a nation changes everything. Today, we are exploring two powerful ideas that answer the question differently: ethno-nationalism and cultural nationalism. What's the difference? While both concepts seek unity, they draw their boundaries in completely different ways. One is defined by blood, the other is defined by behavior. Understanding the difference between them is a crucial understanding for modern global politics, especially today when it is so visceral. So, ethno-nationalism, well, this is the belief that a nation is defined by a shared genetic or racial or ancestral heritage. In an ethno-state, the nation and the ethnic group are identical. Belonging is not a choice, it is an inheritance. You are born into it, or you are not. So for an ethno-nationalist, the ultimate bond is blood. It relies on a narrative of common descent, the idea that everyone in the nation shares the same ancient grandfathers and grandmothers. Because of this, ethno-nationalism is strictly exclusive. You cannot study your way into an ethnic group. You cannot buy your way into it, and you cannot possess the specific ancestry. You will always be an outsider. Historically, this is rigid. A rigid view has often led to the exclusion, segregation, or persecution of minority groups who do not fit into this genetic mold. However, there is a caveat, because this doesn't apply in other countries. Often you see in other countries where there is a very unique and specific genetic makeup of that country, there really is a sense that you are an outsider. In China, they feel that unless you are from China, you are an outsider. And this is represented in other countries as well, where it's more pronounced, say, than it is in the UK. They do think that their culture, their identity, their history is extremely unique. You cannot be a part of that just by being part of the country. This makes the UK extraordinarily unique. So we've had a cursory look at what ethno-nationalism really is, and there's much, much more to it that I'm not going to cover here. And if you wanted to do your own research into it, I would advise that you do so, because there is a very vast difference between ethno-nationalism and cultural nationalism. So let's have a look at what cultural nationalism is and how it's defined. So it's quite the opposite, really. Cultural nationalism defines the nation not by blood. Let me just repeat that, not by blood. So what does that really mean? It means it's not defined by your color. So you can come from India, you could come from Pakistan, you can come from any other country, Africa, Jamaica. It doesn't really matter where you come from. So fundamentally now, in the modern era, it is shared traditions, language and values. It is the belief that what holds a society together is a shared way of life. The core pillars here are folklore, religion, language and social norms. So what does that mean? Unlike ethno-nationalism, cultural nationalism is semi-inclusive. It is based on a learned identity rather than an inherited one. It says if you speak our language, adopt our customs, respect our history and our religion, and live by our values, not your own, you can become one of us. It values assimilation over ancestry. The focus is not on preserving genetic purity, but on protecting the culture, heritage, unique lifestyle of the community from being lost or diluted. What I would say though is that my family has a history of being in this country for over 1,000 years. So as much as I hold to the idea that cultural nationalism is inclusive and allows people to live here, work here, bring up their children here, be a part of the economy, the culture, the identity, even sharing the religion, I do think that there are people in this country that have a heritage that goes far, far back, and therefore they are indigenous to this region. And that means England, Ireland, Wales, and obviously Scotland. So the question remains, for those people who have a heritage that goes as far back as 1,000 years or more, and they have a history, a family history, a cultural identity, and also cultural norms, why is it wrong for them to celebrate what it is to be from this region? It doesn't sound or seem very sane, does it, to say to people who have their roots here for over 1,000 years that they should not in any way celebrate where they come from. But those people that we have welcomed into the country, by all means, you can share and enjoy your heritage, and we must accept your flags being raised and enjoy your celebrations, your identity, your culture, and maybe your religion, but we can't with us. Doesn't sound very accommodated, doesn't sound very multicultural, doesn't sound like there is a sense of integrating. Now, integration is extremely important. If you're going to share a land, you must come to an understanding that this is a culture that has been here for thousands of years, and you can't just come in and change it. You can't just say that thousand years or more or 2,000 years doesn't matter, because it does matter, and it matters to the people who are indigenous to this country, and it will continue to matter. What's really important here is that people who live here come here peacefully, respect our religion, respect our culture, respect our beliefs, respect the laws of the land, and live in a peaceful way, looking to share an identity that allows each one of us to be as successful as we possibly can.
Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire.
Proud to be from Valleys.
You've come from Stoke-on-Trent today, Western-super-Mare, so you guys have come quite a while. Why did you travel all the way from Western-super-Mare?
Because we believe in uniting the kingdom.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. Tommy Robinson, I've been following him for about 15 years. He's always been right, you know what I mean? All about the grooming scandal and everything. And well, don't like to say too much, but
they call him racist, and it's nothing to do with racism or colour or anything like that. It's against the Islamic ideology of, this country, and it's all being forced onto us. And this is a Christian country.
What brought you guys here from Kent today?
What brought us here? Just to show solidarity, to be with the people, to understand that we need really to hopefully get the country back on track. On track is what we need. We don't need to overtake the country. We just want it back on track. We want to be what we had 20, 30 years ago. I remember when it was good. I remember when you could walk the streets. Women could walk freely of a night time. I'm not saying people, illegal immigrants and that are dominating crime. They're not. It comes from every walk of life, but they're not helping.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about it, but I think it's powers above that are actually orchestrating all this to actually cause trouble in order to go for the 2030 total control.
Who's like they? Is it the government? Like
Above the governments. If you've ever heard of all that, you must have done, because you've done your own work probably, which is people above the governments, which are basically controlled. Because if you think about the invasion we've had of everyone here, like that invasion is so ridiculous, it's got to be like been done on purpose to raise up everyone's sort of problems and then come in and then resolve them.
what do you think the purpose is?
Total control.
I'm proud of my country.